Yo, so what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I basically want to go over how, the month of February for 2023 was basically one of my worst months to date, but it was also one of my best months to date as well. And if you guys don't follow me on any of the other social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, I would highly recommend go checking me out on there because I post more about the journey on there, on a daily basis. But yeah, so for those of you who didn't see that and you're not caught up to date yet, well, basically what happened for the month of November, for the month of February, excuse me, we hit basically, I think we ended the day, because today is March the 1st at the timing of this video, we hit with around $81,000 in revenue sales selling on Amazon. Now, even though that may seem like a lot to some people, which I know it is, shit, I remember back in the day, I used to think that was a lot myself. But, we also had a huge downturn in the beginning of the first half of the month. Now, if you follow me, you already seen that screenshot that I posted on there, so go check it out. But basically, for those first 2 weeks of February, sales were very, very slow. I was barely making $1,000 days, 500, 600, 800, just constantly back to back, very low numbers. Now, during this time, we're out here prepping more shipments, we're getting pallets ready, we're, uploading stuff to inventory labs, 2D workflow and all this. But at the same time, the reason why we had such a beginning, terrible beginning, was because during that time, first of all, we had like a pretty bad snowstorm come in here in Texas. So that slowed us down for a whole week because we couldn't basically move anywhere. Us Texans here, we're not used to that type of weather, right? It's always pretty hot, pretty sometimes windy or rainy or whatever, but hardly ever snow like that. So we're not used to that type of weather. But yeah, so that slowed down production. That slowed down my team from coming in here and helping us with the pallets. Then with the coal, trailers can't pick nothing up during this ice, or at least probably not through here. And so yeah, that slowed us down for a whole week. So we couldn't do literally anything in there aside from just buying more inventory and sourcing and whatnot. But yeah, and so that happens. The storm comes through. And then we had another issue where one of the softwares that we use for our shipments and whatnot, which is 2D Workflow, which is a really great software, but they had an update. They had some issues going on. Basically, that's like a whole week. And the main reason why I didn't use like software like Inventory Labs or something else to make those shipments was because we had already pre-made them. And this was like thousands of units, man, like a lot of them. So we already had the data, we already had the FNSKU labels, the expiration dates. We had already signed stuff to like boxes and whatnot. So there was no way we could cancel this huge order and restart over. So we literally had to wait it out until that software came back. And it basically lasted almost a week, I believe, if I recall that. And so yeah, during that time, same thing with the snow. We're just sourcing stuff, buying stuff, organizing here in the office, doing as much as we can. But of course, without the software, we can't do much either. And so yeah, I think during that time I actually did a few UPS shipments as well because we had too much inventory. So we started, just throwing out smaller shipments, old school UPS style, having pirate ship, do the pickups and whatnot. And so we were doing some small shipments, just trying to push inventory out while we waited for our bigger shipment to come in. And so yeah, during that time we were just selling out of whatever last inventory we had for the past 2-3 weeks at this point. And so we weren't able to replenish our stuff fast enough. And then at the same time, we had restock limits. If you don't know what restock limits is, it's basically how much Amazon, they give you a certain amount of units that you can send into Amazon. And so for every seller, it varies. But yeah, so ours was still pretty low because, coming out of Q4, they cut them down. And so we were already maxed out at the warehouse. And we were just waiting for stuff to sell out, to send in our newer inventory. And so that also limited us in basically being able to send stuff ahead of time. And of course, we're dealing with this, just dealing with the low numbers. And then finally, we're able to send our pallets. Finally got them out within a good week. During that week, we sent out like 10 plus pallets headed out. They got checked in pretty fast, to be honest. Within days, I think like a week max, every single pallet got checked in. And then you just see all the sales flying coming through. Started hitting $1,000, $2,000, 3,000, 4,000. We even had like a 5, 6,000, even a $7,000 day in sales, I believe, if I recall. You guys can fact check me on this on my screenshot. I posted it. I just don't remember at the top of my head. But yeah, so we had a lot going on. And so yeah, I mean, sales started to finally pick up. We were just finally pushing through. And yeah, man, I mean, I say this because a lot of people, it's hard as an entrepreneur. It's hard to see, like, a lot of you don't expect, like, you see all the highlights, all the good stuff on social media, but you never see the down stuff, like the stuff I go through, right? That's why I always post it. And so yeah, I mean, we go through this hardship. I mean, during those first 2 weeks, the profit margins were like bad, man. Like, and because some of it I was also liquidating as well. So because I wanted the space for the newer inventory. I mean, our margins were terrible. I think they were like break even at that point. So yeah, I was like, technically I wasn't making for the bills even, but luckily these last 2 weeks they just came in, swooped in, and yeah, our margins are way better. And so we have enough to pay the bills, pay all this and that. And I mean, I did have some cash reserved like for credit cards and stuff, but that's besides the point, because I don't want to rely on that, to basically bounce us back from paying our bills, so I'll just take the profits and whatnot. But yeah, man, so it was a lot. It was a huge learning experience for sure, because throughout my whole reselling journey, I was aware about restock limits, but up until last year I really didn't think about them until I realized that I needed more space. And so that being said, you learn these mistakes, you take these losses, you learn from them, you grow from them, and yeah, it just helps you push forward. It makes you a better entrepreneur, a better Amazon seller in general, because once you go through these type of things, you know what to do, you know how to prepare for it. Like me in 2023, I know exactly to keep an eye on my restock limits for sure, and just keep an eye on it to make sure we're not overdoing it. But of course, we're also sending faster selling products, so while we're sending new stuff in, the other stuff is selling out, so it's kind of balancing out now at this point. Like, I think at this point we got like over 5,000 units of restock limits to basically fill up now again. So but yeah, all in all, man, it was a journey. It was, like I said, it was one of the worst months because I had never seen that many low numbers in like a long time since I basically started this journey. But at the same time, it was one of our best months. So I mean, we hit $81,000 in sales. My highest month was a bit more than that last year in November. So just the fact that we basically almost surpassed our best month during Q4, I mean, that's a huge upside, because it shows how much we've been improving. It shows how much our product research is going, making better buying decisions, especially even with the profits. Even though we had a huge downturn in the beginning of the month, the profits at the end made up for it pretty big time. I mean, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I mean, but I'm not surprised. But they were definitely there, like I literally saw the difference in those profit margins. So, but yeah, so it was a crazy wild ride for sure for the month of February. But yeah, just goes to show you guys, it's not always fun and games, not always rainbows. You will go through these hardships, and as an entrepreneur, you just gotta deal with it, push through it, hang in there, and you come out better on top, because every single loss that you take in this business does help you out in the long run. I mean, dude, like this, I learned a lot from this stuff. Like, so much. Like, moving forward now, I'm just like, holy crap, I know exactly what to do, I know exactly how to maneuver. Basically at this point, it's like there's nothing that can stop us no more, right? Because we went through all this, we beat stuff, we beat the hardships, we took our L's, and we just surpassed even more and more and more. So right, so but yeah, so hopefully looking forward to the rest of the year. It doesn't get as bad as it was this time of the month. I mean, I don't see how it could be any worse, to be honest, unless I just like drop everything and call it quits. But yeah, so hopefully you guys, you learn something from this, because it, stuff like this, posting these losses, it helps others, and hopefully it helped you. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about this. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's crazy. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. I don't even know how long this video is at this point, but yeah, hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. But if you got any questions, suggestions, or just any comments whatsoever, guys, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, just feedback from you guys, really. But yeah, aside from that, guys, I am out. On to the next video, which I will be uploading more after this one. So anyways, stay tuned.